Alright, today's a big day. After driving 16 hours from New Hampshire to North Carolina, we're going to attempt to hike the highest mountain east of the Mississippi, 6,684 foot Mount Mitchell. If successful, this will also be the highest mountain I've ever climbed, period. So we parked over there. We're going to follow some campground roads over to the Mount Mitchell Trail proper. Once you get there, I'll catch you over there. Alright, you're now on the Mount Mitchell Trail as dictated by this sign. 5.6 miles to the top, 3,600 feet of elevation gain. And man, I can't wait till I get to the top of this thing. Well, plus apparently there's a restaurant up there kind of like Mount Washington in New Hampshire, if you've been there. That's gonna taste so good. I'm gonna get some damn good souvenirs too. So far the trail's pretty mellow and flat, but believe me, that will change. We're gonna gain elevation at some point in time. Anyway, I'll meet you farther up the Mount Mitchell Trail. The Mount Mitchell Trail continues this way. So this is the way we want to go. Passing through what I believe is the Briar Bottom Campground. A group campground near Black Mountain Campground. Mount Mitchell, 5.6 miles. Awesome. Let's do it. The name of the game for the Mount Mitchell Trail is switchbacks, because there are a lot of them. That being said, most clubs and organizations around here say the Mount Mitchell Trail is quite strenuous, but from what I've heard from people in New England who hike this, it's relatively moderate. Well, just have to find out for ourselves. My coworker was right about this being the humid south. The humidity is just wretched. Not used to it, even in New England. Main goal is Mitchell. If I feel like it, I'll go over to Mount Craig, the second highest mountain in eastern US. About 2 miles extra hiking, but if I'm so beat from the humidity, I'll just take a long break on the summit of Mitchell and call it a day. The trail seems to have moderated in grade. It has moderated for a little while. And you gotta keep in mind this mountain is 6,684 feet. So there is some elevation gain to be had, especially since we started at 3,000 feet. Say we've gained a little under 1,000, about 2,700, 2,600 to the summit. Let's do this. Gotta say, so far, despite the freaking humidity, I'm having a fun time. Good hike too. And the vegetation's different than what I'm used to up in New England. So there's always that. We come to a trail junction. Either this way via Higgins Bald, or this way via the Old Mitchell Trail will get us to Mount Mitchell. We're gonna go this way since it goes up. And I can't wait to get to the top of this thing. But still got a hike to do. Just cruise right along and enjoy it. Alright, we've come to our first notable muddy stretch. Thank God for Gore-Tex boots. And like a wise man once said, ain't a hike without mud or blood. Oh, and lo and behold, the trail's dry again. Nice. Anyway, I'll meet you farther up the Mount Mitchell Trail. Alright, we're now crossing under a power line swath. Said power lines, I assume, go to the summit of Mount Mitchell. Sprinkling a little bit. Hopefully it stays like this. Stay sprinkling. No rain would be better, but sprinkling I can deal with. If the rain does start to pick up, hope it's when I'm going down, so not sweating as much and I won't be getting really wet. But whatever, let's take what's thrown at us. Yeah, our first major brook crossing of the trip. Ooh, nice little chute right there. Awesome. On we go. Alright, this is the upper junction with the trail over Higgins Bald. We just came from that way. Now we're going this way. Only about a third of the way down the hike. Makes sense since we still have about 2,000 feet of gain left. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Oh, this looks pleasant. I believe once you get above a certain elevation, the trails get turned to spruce fir type forest, kind of like what you see in the whites of New Hampshire. Just have to wait and see. Alright, the woods have changed a little, and the trail's gotten noticeably more uphill, more moderate in grade. So that's good. Elevation gain boost. Alright, I believe we're about the 5,000 foot mark. Should be about 5,100 feet, give or take. So about 1,500 feet of gain to the summit of the highest mountain in the east. Awesome. Alright, we are now on the Mountains to Sea Trail. Here is parallel with the Mount Mitchell Trail. Continues 1.6 miles, 1 hour 40 minutes to the summit. So you want to go this way, just as I figured, keep following the blue blazes. Let's do it up. The final 1.6 miles to the top. Can we do it? Can we summit the highest mountain in the eastern US? Let's find out. You know, even though it's Memorial Day weekend, this trail is actually relatively quiet. Granted, I've seen a few bigger groups, but there are plenty of moments where I had some genuine solitude. Pointing at this rock overhang. Oh wow, that's neat. And now that I'm at a high elevation, the humidity is a lot less wicked. So I can actually go, so to speak, without sweating my butt off. You know what, let's go in here. Oh wow, this is neat. Awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna get some shots from in here and then I'll meet you closer to Mount Mitchell. We've broken the 6,000 foot mark. About 600 feet of gain to the summit. Sure doesn't feel like I'm 6,000 feet. Me being from the whites, where if you're 6,000 feet, it's no trees, rock, hell. Feels like I'm about 4,000 feet there. But it's all good. Anyway, something interesting comes up, I'll show it to you. Alright, here's something interesting. We are now entering North Carolina State Park boundary. Mount Mitchell State Park to be specific. Here are the rules. Pretty sure you can read, so I'll take a picture and you can pause it. Anyway, onward ho we go. Alright, we got a big sign here. Black Mountain Campground, 5.5 miles. Wow. We've hiked 5.5 miles in 2 hours, 5 minutes. We are hauling ass. Wait, what's this? We got a trail junction. Let's see. Straight 0.3 miles, 20 minutes. Ugh. Got some conflicting distances. Mountains to Sea Trail. Nice. Balsam Nature Trail. I believe the trail we want to take over to Mount Craig starts on the top though. God, my shoulders hurt again. Might take a longer break on top than I was anticipating before heading over to Mount Craig. I dropped my pack if their summit wasn't so crowded and developed. I'm sure the people here are nice and mean well, but you can never be too careful, so I'll have to take the whole thing. Anyway, something interesting happens, I'll show it to you. Otherwise, I'll meet you on the top of the highest mountain in the eastern U.S. Alright, we've hit the path from the top of the parking area for the people who drive up that leads to the summit and its observation tower. Assuming nothing interesting happens, I'll meet you at the summit. We've done it! Welcome to the summit of the highest mountain in the eastern United States, 6,684 foot Mount Mitchell. Mount Craig's over there. I'll go over there depending on how my shoulders feel, because right now they kind of kill. 5.6 miles to the top from Black Mountain Campground, got up there in 2 hours 10 minutes, so I was hauling. And this is the tomb of Dr. Elijah Mitchell, that person for whom this mountain was named. There's the ramp leading to the observation tower, which we'll go in a second. Gotta say, this is a pretty neat hike. Environment that I'm not really used to back home. So weird being at 6,600 feet and there being trees. Man, the day's looking a lot better than I thought it would. Views are incredible. I didn't think there would be anyway. I heard overcast and chance of rain. Glad I came here today. So, I gave you some photos, take a damn good picture of the summit sign. That'll meet you with what I decide to do next. I got a viewfinder up here. What you can see is a big ball, little ball, Burnsville somewhere. All peaks of the Black Mountain, Silo Knob, Mount Craig, Balsam Cone, and some small mountain towns out in North Carolina. There, somewhere out there is Grandfather Mountain, which I heard is a nice hike too. Skim over the viewfinder. Just incredible. Alright, this is the gift shop and I believe the restaurant too on near the summit of Mitchell. Ooh, North Carolina history marker. Nice. Alright, you know what? I'm here. Might as well extend the hike, plus my shoulders feel right now. Took the weight off them for a little bit, relax them. So I'm gonna try to go over to Craig. I'll meet you over there, or on the way over there. Alright, we're taking the Deep Gap Trail past some picnic areas from the summit area of Mount Mitchell to the summit of the second highest point east of the Mississippi. Mount Craig at elevation 6,647 feet. It takes a mile to get there, both times 45 minutes, but I know I can beat that. Anyway, I'll meet you on the way to Mount Craig. This part of the Deep Gap Trail is actually really nice. And Mount Craig is like right over there. Granted, that's probably a false summit, but whatever. It's so close, I'd be a fool to skip it. Especially considering I don't know the next time I'll be able to come here will be. Anyway, on until we go to the summit of the second highest mountain in eastern North America. Should be getting close to the summit of Mount Craig. Relatively close at least. I can feel it. Something interesting happens, so I'll show it to you. Otherwise, I'll meet you on the summit. We've done it. Welcome to the summit of the second highest mountain in the eastern United States and eastern mainland North America. Mount Craig. Named for a guy by the name of Loch Craig. Disregard the altitude, it's actually 6,647 feet. Good views like Mount Mitchell, but far less crowded. Yeah. But a mile hike to summit of Craig from the Mount Mitchell parking area. It took about, say, probably like 15-20 minutes. Gotta say, the view we have is a lot less obstructed than the same view in the same general direction from Mitchell. Speaking of Mitchell, that's where it came from. Awesome. This is a slow pan. And the Deep Gap Trail continues that way toward Balsam Knob, Cattail Peak, and a few other Southern Sixers. Which I forgot to mention, Mount Mitchell and Mount Craig are on a peak bagging list called the Southern Sixers. That's just a list of all the mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee that are over 6,000 feet in elevation and probably meet a certain prominence requirement. So, let's get chill here for a bit, get some good summits, including good pics, including a good summit pic. And I'll catch you back at the Mitchell summit area. Alright, it's time to head back down. It's been real, it's been fun, but time to go. Have plenty of souvenirs though, including a little something for my dad. Should take me about 2 hours to get back down, since it took me a little over 2 to get back up. Say I'll be back at around 2:05 at the latest. Soon nothing interesting comes up, I'll meet you back at the car at Black Mountain Campground. Back at the trailhead near Black Mountain Campground off South Toe River Road in Burnsville. Overall, this hike is a bit of a butt kicker, mostly because my shoulders are sore like they usually are on long hikes, but it had some pretty prolonged up sections that it wasn't really that steep by any means until I got on the Deep Gap Trail with Mount Craig, but it's all good. Incredibly overcast, but the cloud deck was high, so I got to see why the Blue Ridge Mountains are called the Blue Ridge, so to speak. Excellent day, excellent peaks, and Mount Mitchell and Mount Craig are now the 2 highest mountains I've ever climbed. Took the place of Washington. Washington's bumped down to number 3 now. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Mitchell is also a North Carolina state high point. So round trip distance was, I'd say, 13.2 miles. I'll have to check my books. With probably, say, around 4,000, a little over 4,000 feet of elevation gain. So, oh yeah, and it took 2 hours, 10 minutes up, 2 hours down. So from the Black Mountain Campground in Mount Mitchell and Mount Craig, see you on my next adventure.